Bradford City continue their 2025-26 EFL Trophy campaign with a home clash against Everton FC's Under-21's. And in today's video, you're going to find out how both teams have gotten so far this season and what my starting 11 would be for this game if I was Graham Alexander. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me, subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, and get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. But my team, Bradford City, we currently sit second in the League One table. After 11 matches, we've got 7 wins, 3 draws and 1 defeat, scoring 20 goals and also conceding 13, which leaves us on a positive 7 goal difference and at 24 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a draw, win, and a loss. In terms of them last couple of matches then, we had a 2-2 draw away at Rotherham United. Disappointing result, in all honesty. If this video is very choppy, it's because I've got a very sore, tickly throat. But obviously, getting a point away from home when you are 2-0 down in the second half, it's not the worst point in the world, but we missed a lot of very big chances in this game, and it did end up being quite a frustrating result. But again, given the circumstances, not an awful point. We also had a 1-0 win at home to Blackpool. Not the best performance in the world, not the worst to be fair. It certainly didn't feel like a game which had 25 shots on it, but it was just about getting the job done. And we certainly did that, maintaining our 100% winning record at Valley Parade so far this season. We also had a 4-1 defeat away at Newcastle. What can you really say? They pretty much played their first team. There was only like Nick Pope, Dan Burn and Sandro Tonali out of their main squad that didn't feature in this game. There's not really much that you can do about it. They're just a very good side. Before that one, we had a 3-1 victory away at Cardiff City. Very, very good performance in this game. Probably best performance of the season so far. We were relentless from minute 1 to 97 or whatever we ended up playing. We could have had a number of other goals on the day if it finished like 6-3. I don't think anybody would really complain, but a really entertaining match, and obviously Cardiff hadn't conceded from open play up until this point. Obviously we got 2 from open play in this one, got the win, and have certainly started conceding a few more goals. And we also had a fantastic 3-1 win at home to Huddersfield Town in the derby. Boyhood Bradford City fan Bobby Poynton getting a brace in that one. A very, very big win for us, not just in terms of the 3 points, but the bragging rights as well. Compared though to Everton FC, they currently sit down in 18th in the Premier League 2 table. There are 29 teams in that division, but after 6 matches, they've got 2 wins, 0 draws and 4 defeats, scoring 9 goals, but also conceding 11, which leaves them on a -2 goal difference and 6 points. The last couple of matches then have been a loss, a win, a loss, and a loss. In terms of them last couple of matches then, they had a 2-1 defeat at home to Manchester United's Under-21's. They had a 1-0 win away at Middlesbrough's Under-21's. Let me actually just move this over very briefly. Sorry, not the most professional, but it is quite hard to actually find results of Under-21 matches. They also had a 3-2 defeat at home to Aston Villa's Under-21's. They also played in the National League Cup, where they lost 2-1 away at Tamworth. So they're playing in the National League Cup and the EFL Trophy, where obviously they lost 2-1 away at Doncaster. I remember that one being quite an entertaining game. I think Doncaster scored quite late on after, pretty sure Everton equalised in the 92nd minute. Donny won it in the 94th minute, but certainly a lot of drama in their game so far. Lots of goals, it seems. Before we do go any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 120 likes on today's video? My voice has gone there like Paul Cook. Subscribe as well. I think I just said that. I don't know. Get your thoughts in down below. Score predictions, lineup, all that sort of stuff. Me personally, I'm back in the Bantams for a 3-0 win, but in terms of the lineup, with us not having a game just gone on the Saturday, would you go with a full strength side or would you go with a bit of rotation? Let me know your lineup down below. Moving on then to my team selection for this game, I have certainly gone with a bit of a mix, but more fringe players in there rather than starters. I feel like we would have probably played a in-house 11 versus 11 match in training on Saturday just to build up the fitness, so I'm not too concerned about that. And again, if our second string players in quotation marks can't beat Everton's academy, then I think we've got a couple of problems. But I don't, because I think we've got a very good squad, and I think we should use our squad, especially when we're going to need to put in a big output at home to Barnsley on Saturday. But in goal, I would go with Joe Hilton. I'd like to see a bit more from Hilton. Obviously wasn't really tested in our first EFL Trophy match against Grimsby, where obviously they got the red card and pretty much just parked the bus. He did give a penalty away in that game, but certainly not at fault for that in my personal opinion, but literally had nothing else to do, so I'd like to see him get another start. In terms of my back three then, at right centre back, I would go with Neil Byrne. Obviously played and started against Rotherham on Thursday. That was actually quite a long time ago now, but Burn for me, not good enough for League One standard, especially to be a starter. Certainly not a wide side centre back, which is where he's obviously going to be playing in this one. But you think Matt Pennington's just returning from a concussion, saving for Saturday. Aidan Baldwin out injured, and obviously George Goodman is away with Ireland's under-21s, I want to say. So Burn is your next best option there, and he should start on the right side. In the middle, I would go with Joe Wright. It's been quite a while since we've seen him play for Bradford City, but I think this is the sort of game where you get him back in, you start building his minutes up and all that sort of stuff, because who knows, we might need him on Saturday against Barnsley. Not necessarily the type of game which I think he'll be the most important for. I think Stevenage away is more important for somebody like a Joe Wright, but for me, I'd like to see him get another start in this one to see if he's got some real competition with Tom McIntyre. And at left centre back, I would go with Kieran Kelly. Again, Curtis Tilt currently out injured. Tom McIntyre's played largely in the middle of the back three so far, and Kelly's league minutes so far and playing in a couple of the Carabao Cup games, I don't think he's been amazing. So these are the sort of games which will be important for him to get some confidence and get some regular first team football playing. In terms of my midfield four then, at right wing back, I would go with Brad Halliday. I think Josh Nerthville, he's had a very weird season so far, because he's either like a 9 out of 10 or a 4 out of 10. There has been a few games so far which I do think he has been pretty poor in, despite being very good in a lot of games so far. But I'd like to see Halliday get another opportunity in this one. You know what you're going to get with Halliday, a consistent 6 or 7 out of 10. You know what he's capable of, you also know what he's not capable of, and I feel like these are the sort of games which you do give players like Brad Halliday some important minutes. In terms of my two holding midfielders, firstly I would go with the captain, Max Power. I think we massively missed him against Rotherham. I think both of the goals, but in particular the second one, doesn't happen if Power is in that midfield. So something to think about, because if he ends up getting another 5 yellow cards before, I think it's the middle of February, which seems quite likely if he's already got 5 yellow cards in his first 10 league matches, then that's going to be a problem missing him for 2 games. But I think his experience is certainly very important, especially in these type of games. And partnering him, I would go with Jensen Metcalf. Hasn't actually played that much football this season, obviously playing against the academy, which we signed him from back in the summer. But when Metcalf's played, I've been quite impressed with him. I thought he was very good on off the bench against Rotherham as well, and I think in a lot of his minutes so far, I have been quite impressed with Metcalf. So I'd like to see him get a start in this one. And completing my midfield four, at left wing back, I would go with Lewis Richards, a man who we've not seen kick a ball competitively for Bradford City so far this campaign, but I think it's important again to start building his minutes up. He's been back in training, full training now for a number of weeks, and when we've got the competition of your Ibu Tories and your Tyreek Wrights, this is perfect for Richards to get some minutes on his belt and prove to Alexander that he's not just here to be a bit part player, because there's a very good player in Lewis Richards, as we saw last campaign, but there's a lot of competition for him as of right now in that same position. And finally then, completing my front three, I don't think I said at the start of my lineup, but I would stick with the 3-4-2-1 formation, but with the players that I've picked, you could certainly go with one attacking midfielder and 2 strikers rather than 2 attacking midfielders and 1 striker. That might give away as who I have picked. But firstly, as my right attacking midfielder, I would go with George Lapsley, a man who we've not seen in the matchday squad for quite a while now, but I'd like to see Lapsley get another opportunity. I think there's always a hard worker, and he's good for coming up with a goal, just popping up in the box crashing. He's got a similar sort of trait to Bobby Poynton, where he just pops up in the right place at the right time, and that's not luck, that's certainly skill. So I'd like to see Lapsley get another opportunity. As my left attacking midfielder, I would go with Stephen Humphreys. It would feel very strange of me to make a full video over on the main channel talking about Humphreys and his position. I believe he should be playing out on the wing. I know Alexander's not, said the opposite, that he only will play as a striker, but my opinion is Humphreys should be playing in that position, and this is obviously my team, so I think he should play there. That video about Humphreys went down horrendously on Twitter by, I assume, people who didn't actually watch the video, but on YouTube a lot of people agree with my point, so I guess that goes to show probably watch the video before commenting, but I guess that is just social media sometimes for you. Humphreys though, I'd love to see him get a hat-trick in this game, and I think playing in that position would certainly see him do that. And as my striker, it absolutely has to be Andy Cook. We need to start building him up. He has to start on Saturday against Barnsley, unless for example Will Swan starts in this game and scores 7 goals. But Cook, for me, I think when he's come on off the bench in the last couple of matches, he's always come on and had an impact. Our second goal against Rotherham largely comes from his persistence, and I do think if you're wanting to start him against Barnsley, he needs to at least get 60-65 minutes under his belt in this one against Everton. And obviously then you bring on the likes of Callum Kavanagh on off the bench, who should hopefully make it for Tuesday's game. In terms of my bench then, I would have Sam Walker, Josh Nerthville, Ibu Toure, Alex Patterson, Anthony Sarcevic, Nick Powell and Callum Kavanagh. The players currently unavailable are George Goodman. I think he's with Ireland's under-21s, it might be under-20s, let me know down in the comment section down below. Also unavailable is Aidan Baldwin and Curtis Till through injury. So the players miss out then through selection will be Zach Hady, Matt Pennington, Tom McIntyre, Tommy Lee, Tyreek Wright and also Will Swan. A lot of quality missing out there, but we've got a big game on Saturday, we've got a big squad. Rotation is incredibly important, but I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching and putting up with my very croaky, very tickly voice in today's video. Hopefully you have still enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'm not really sure what them hand signals were, but that's definitely the one for liking. Get your thoughts in and your score predictions. Like I say, I'm back in Bradford City for a 3-0 victory. Thank you all for watching, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.